Welcome, I am Hookkshot and this is Divinity Original Sin II, the early access beta. Guess we'll start by making a character. We'll be playing single player. Guess Explorer mode or Classic mode doesn't matter right now. Explorer mode is for people not wanting to do too much combat, and Classic mode's more like the first Original Sin. So it'll have a bit more challenging combat and more encounters. I recently just finished the classic version of it, so I'll be making comparisons to that as well. Welcome to the character creation screen. Select an origin character to create a custom hero, give your hero a name, change appearance, and select one of the many classes to start with. Yeah, I want tooltips. It's my first time. Well, I can already notice that that is a much higher detailed model than the first Divinity. It's a bit hard to rotate. I approve of the detail though. How do I change stuff? Origin characters have a rich story background that allows you to experience a full extent of Divinity tag system. Custom characters don't have origin stories. Try choosing an origin story if this is your first playthrough. I really would prefer that a custom character, you could like put in an origin story for it, or at least change one of the origin stories so it kind of makes a bit more sense. We're gonna... Yeah, you can't change anything, maybe a little bit of the class. Oh yeah. Well, let's see what origin stories they have. So custom, your past is history, all that matters is your present in Fort Joy. Alright. Ivan Benmezd. Nobody escapes the lane wolves unscathed, and your freedom was won at a terrible cost. You swore you were done, but there's one last wrong you need to right. Doesn't tell me too much. Race, human. Alright, so none of the origin stories have anything to do with the classes, at least, which is good. So the Red Prince is a lizard. The races in this game are the undead, the lizard, dwarf, elf, human. And so there's only 3 races you can play currently in early access. So undead and dwarf will be unlocked later. Tags, villain. For those familiar with the first one, you were the good guys in the story. In Divinity Original Sin 2, you can be sort of like a villain, especially if you're playing multiplayer with your friends. Maybe 2 of you want to help the bad guy in a certain quest, and maybe 2 want to like save the civilian or, you know, the princess, something along those lines. So 2 of the party members will veer off and start doing their own stuff to try and help the bad guy capture the princess or, you know, fulfill his wants, while the other 2 will try and stop the opposite party members from trying to do that. So it'll offer a lot of cooperative play while still being versus, and it'll change the dynamic of players quite frequently throughout the story if the players want to enhance their own personal goals with their character. That being said, you could always just agree on everything and go through the story and trying to get through without having any kind of dynamic like that. So let's go into the class system, see what we got here. So we've got a bunch of presets, just like number 1. I always preferred magic myself. Abilities, warfare. Warfare increases all damage you deal to physical armor. Alright. Aerothurge Area Surge increases all damage you deal to magic armor. Persuasion boosts your score +4 per point when persuading characters in dialogue. Dual wielding. I know they added this enhanced, but I just played through classic Divinity Original Sin, and they didn't have dual wielding in it, so it's nice to see this. Comeback Kid. When an opponent lands a blow that should kill you, Comeback Kid will leave you with 1 health. A very useful talent. Human Resolve adds a +1 to leadership. I guess humans are alright like that. Hide armor. Alright, well that is actually really detailed. I approve. The budget definitely went up. Here we go. Oh, that's not cool. She's old. I like the scar. I think it's suitable of a kind of battle mage. Oh, starting skills. Battering ram. Rush forward in a straight line to a point far away, hitting all enemies in your path with a 10 to 14 physical plus 10 to 14 physical damage. I believe that might be a bug. Why would it have the same thing twice? Maybe it's not. Maybe I'll understand it later. They've changed. It says 1 action point. So in this compared to Original Sin, they've changed it so each action takes up 1 action point in your bar, and then there'll be some actions which take up double. But generally, they wanted it to be more like it's D&D Origins, where each thing took up an action rather than you spending lots of different action points on different moves. Shocking touch. I still very much like that you can just build a class yourself. So let's read more of these origin stories. Unique among your own kind, you are a prince exiled from your empire. This land is hostile, its inhabitants inferior, but no one will stop to match your vindication. A survivalist and a practitioner of magic. The Wayfarer is hard to hit and even harder to evade. So it's like a ranged magic user, earth magic user, I believe. An intimidating presence whose bone-chilling powers terrify friend and foe alike. When I get access to an undead race, I'll probably be going a witch, summon some skeletons and stuff. A scholar of magic specialized in starting and ending battles with a flick of the wrist. Exacting swift victory from a safe distance. It's very nice. Slave no more, you still bear scars your master gave you, and wield the skills he taught you. Femme fatale, spy, assassin, skills you plan to use against all masters. I think she actually sounds like she has an alright backstory. We're just going to go into custom and manage these tags. So your aspirations, your nature. Female elf. That makes sense. I'll just accept that for a sec. So what if I want to go male? Call myself Hookkshot. Oh. So they've got everything but undead in. They just don't have an origin story for the dwarf yet. But they also could have it so you can't select undead from the start and you become undead during the game. I'm not sure, this is the first time I'm playing. So humans, they all have different talents. Dwarves, sturdy, boost their strength. Dwarven Guile gives you +1 in sneaking. Well, they are small, that makes sense. Not very nimble though. So elves have a +2 in finesse. Probably make them better with one-handed weapons and things like that. Corpse Eater lets you eat body parts to access the memories of the dead. Well, that's one way to do it. So an undead elf, you know, sounds like my kind of deal there. So humans are ingenious, rewards you with +2 wits and +3 critical chance, and they get the leadership bonus. lizards are sophisticated. So, lizards will make good wizards, I see. Yeah, wizards will definitely be, you know, a favorite amongst magic users here. I'm gonna go human. Now, the music in Divinity Original Sin 2 will change based upon your character doing heroic moments, things of interest, and when it's your character that's the focus, the instrument that you picked will be the focus of that music. So let's read them out. Bansuri. Add mystery and wonder to the enchanting phrases of this ancient flute. Take the lead in the soundtrack during combat and important story moments. The tambura. The brooding performance of this long-necked stringed instrument will take the lead in the soundtrack during combat and important story moments. The oud. Let the round notes of this lute-like fretless instrument take the lead in the soundtrack. And the cello. I'm gonna have to go the oud because, you know, a lute-like, something lute-like just sounds like me. So let's go to the tags. What would my aspirations be? Now, there's no descriptions on these, but I'd like to think I was a noble mystic. Or I want to be a noble mystic, since they're aspirations. Can only put 2 in so far. Yep, only 2. So let's customize this class. I wonder if there's a custom. Well, we'll go through the classes anyway. So we got Wayfarer, Witch, Wizard, Battle Mage, Cleric, Enchanter, Fighter, Inquisitor. Ooh, they actually have a Necromancer kind of school now. I approve of that greatly. Knight, Ranger, Rogue, and back to the Shadow Blade. So we're going to go to the Wizard, we're going to customize. So we'll take everything out. That leadership is from being a human. We'll take the Lawmaster out. No, we'll probably put it back in. So I don't think we want any of those weapons. We want... Does giving magic armor make you use it better? Yeah. We want some magic armor. Necromancer heals you every time you deal damage to vitality. Alright. I will take a skill on that. I'll be a persuasive necromancer. So I didn't end up getting back the Lawmaster. Talents. As always, they have the Far Out Man, which is a really good one. Great for if you want to be a spell user that's kept in the distance. But I did find it really annoying when they had enemies that snuck up from behind in some encounters in Divinity. So we have all skilled up, arrow recovery, backstabber, bigger and better, comeback kid, escapist, fire out man, 5-star diner, glass cannon. Later on in the game, if you can get your resistances up enough, glass cannon is a great thing for magic users. Hot-headed. Oh, what's hot-head? While you are at maximum vitality, hot-head grants you an extra 10% critical chance and 20% more accuracy. I don't think it's something I'd get. I don't spend much time at full health. I spend a lot of time at low health. Leech heals you when you are standing in blood. So with a playthrough I just did in classic mode, we did lots of using Leech and the bleed effect. cast by our own people to heal up. It was it's a bit cheap, but it was definitely fun. When resurrected, you resurrect full life. Opportunist, pet power, picture of health, savage sortilege. Gives all magical skills a critical chance equal to 50% of your critical chance score. I'd have to play around with that, but that sounds really good. Oh, there's a lot more. I'm assuming they're going to put heaps more in this. Because this is... yeah, not as much. I guess it's... yeah, they're only putting it in that you can get in the first chapter. Ice King. Has a extra 15% water resistance, but takes 15% penalty to fire resistance. In addition to the maximum water resistance is raised by 10. One-man army. Zombie. So when I go undead, I'll definitely be zombie. So I'm going to put back Far Out Man. And we're going to change our starting skills. What does Wits do? At 1 point to boost critical chance and gain 2.4 in initiative. Magic armor and your ability to detect traps. Memory affects your memory slots, which are required to learn skills. More powerful skill slots cost more memory slots. Oh, that's a new way of doing it. I like that. I didn't like the what your skills meant, how many you could learn. I felt that a bit limiting in number 1. Constitution determines how much vitality you have. That makes sense. Intelligence determines your accuracy with intelligence-based weapons and improves the damage of elemental, necromancy, and summoning spells. Finesse determines your chance to hit with finesse-based weapons. It also improves the damage of huntsman and scoundrel skills, and increases dodging. Strength determines your accuracy with strength-based weapons, improves the damage of warfare skills, and decreases the heavy equipment movement penalty cost. Yeah, they all make sense. I think I'm going to go a point in memory. Now, can I get rid of the starting skills? If I go accept. Okay, so changing skills in character creation is disabled during early access. That makes sense, why I couldn't do it. What I'm going to do is find one with the skills I like and change the class based on that. So there was one with some necromancy type of stuff. The Inquisitor. So I'm going to customize that. Oh, Warlord. No. We want Far Out Man. Abilities. We want Necromancer. We don't want dual wielding. We want magic armor. What was the other one I chose? Ah, Persuasion. Yep, that looks about right. And we wanted memory. Now, to change what we look like, I'm just going to take that off. What kind of skin colors do we have here? I mean, light saffron does suit the necromantic lifestyle, I guess. You know, not going out in the sun, playing with the dead. I think we're going to go with that. And look at different heads. I like that one with the scar. Yeah, we're going to go the scar. Let's put a bit on the side, give this nice, dashing view. See which hairstyles we like. Can I... no, I can't rotate it. Not up anyway. I think I like that. No, I don't like that. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more hairstyles. Unlike the first one, what I'm changing is actually changing the portrait of my character, which makes me very happy. I hated that my character looked very different from the portrait in, you know, all the UI. Blacksmith. Is there anything darker? Though it could just be the lighting. I like all the fancy names. Do I want facial hair? I like that. It's kind of a merchanty moustache there. Maybe I'll just make a living selling stuff in the game. I don't need to defeat anyone, do I? Alright. I don't think beard's for my necromancer. I like this armor. It is very necromancy. Alright, well that is it for creating a character. I'll be making another video on my first playthrough of the game. And we'll see how that goes. Thank you everyone for watching.